We all know Mario Strikers, the action-packed, edgy, tough sports game that basically showed the Mario characters in a situation you would never expect from them, showing anger, frustration, more personality. We got our first taste with Super Mario Strikers, and then its edgier sequel, Mario Strikers Charged. And then, many years later, after years of waiting and begging and wondering, we finally got the most not so edgy sequel to Charge, Mario Strikers Battle League. We all were super hyped for this game. So, how did it fare? Well, utter disappointment. This game really showed how Nintendo is handling the current model of the free updates to the sports titles, but more on that later. You see, the game is lacking in terms of content like the other sports titles, but again, more on that later. Let's talk about the game itself. I asked you guys what negatives and positives you all had, and you all basically said what I had and basically what everyone is saying about the game. The animations are top-notch, gameplay is fairly solid, it's lacking in content, at least at launch of course, no 4v4, not a lot of items, stadiums are boring, the hyper strikes, you can't block them easily, less characters, it's not very enjoyable, just run and done. There's no real accomplishment from completing anything, any of the tournaments, and yeah, all of that's true. The animations are nice with proper lip syncing, the gameplay is fun, we don't have that much items, I mean, where's the ice shell, or the triple red shell, or triple green shells, or the specific captain abilities. And yeah, there's no 4v4 online, which is ridiculous. I can finally have 8 players play with me, but I can't do it online. And the hyper strikes are very hard to block. The past games, they were easier to block. They didn't slow down time, and that way it would be much more harder to block them. Now, here's one big complaint, aside from the character thing, we'll get to that later. Many and myself had a big complaint about this thing right here. You know, the stages we have? Yeah, they're all the same. Sure, the background is different, the music is different, the pictures on the ground are different, but the field itself is just grass. Nothing else. No metal or sand or wood or ice or anything to make things different or even more challenging. Both of the previous titles actually had stages with different layouts and even some hazards to make the stage itself, different. But no, for this game, they're all just grass with backgrounds. And the field itself, it kind of feels kind of small. Also, the famous electric cage that we all love? Yeah, it doesn't really hit as hard as the previous titles. And no, I'm not saying this because of nostalgia. I mean it's because when you hit them into it, it's not really as satisfying. I mean, where's my blood curdling scream from Peach? I missed that, I want it back. Now let's talk music. The music is always rock and roll to match with the edginess of the game. The music here is good, I like them. A lot of the themes here are good. But the issue here is that the music is all rock and roll, including the character themes. Yes, I know they all sound different. Yes, I know that. And some of the character themes do fit the characters' personalities. I can tell which ones are which. I like them. My favorites are Luigi's, Daisy's, Birdo's, Bowser Jr.'s, Waluigi's. I like all of them. But you see, the issue here is that we all miss how unique the themes were. Like in Charge, again, I'm referencing examples like in the first game, it didn't have specific themes. In the second game, they all had their unique character theme whenever they made a goal. Luigi had flamenco music, while Luigi had Western music. Petey had Jamaican style music. I wanted to hear how the themes for this game for the characters would be this time. But we didn't get anything super unique for the characters. Again, yeah, sure, they're a little bit different, but they weren't very, very unique. And the funny thing is, Yoshi's and Birdo's were rearranged for this game, and yet not the rest of the cast? I don't get it. Oh, yeah, and speaking of characters, let's talk about how limited and small this roster is. The last game, counting the sidekicks, had a total of 20 characters. This game only has 16. And you think, oh, that's plenty enough, right? I mean, all you do is just use a few captains and the rest of the sidekicks.
Wrong!
Not in the slightest. Not in an 8-player styled game. You see, the game first does away with the sidekicks, and now you can have all the captains on the same team. And that isn't really so much of a bad thing. You can finally pair up your favorite Mario characters together. I mean, I could finally make this team happen. So, yeah, it's great. I can finally do this. Yeah, it's great, sure. But it can get to the point where you can run into duplicates of yourself. You can actually play a game against Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Daisy against themselves. The last game, it made sense to have duplicates of the team, because they're species of the characters we could have. We could have multiple Toads, multiple Birdos, multiple Koopas, multiple Shy Guys, because they have all multiple species. Now you can play a game with Mario, DK, Bowser, and Wario on the other side. Two pairs of the same thing. Cause yeah, that makes sense. Also, you'd think with a new Mario Sports title, they would make sure to add as much characters, both old and new, to the game. This selection screen here is so small. You could literally add so much here. Pauline and Rosalina are the only new characters. Everyone else here are just veterans from the past games. And the big thing that everyone hated is the fact that they once again did the free update model, where the roster is very small and they add characters and content down the line that should have been in the game from the beginning. One big thing that they did that everyone was furious on, that spread all over Twitter and YouTube and everything, was the fact that Daisy was absent from the main roster of a Mario Sports game, despite being a veteran in the past games. Everyone else was a starter roster, but no, Daisy was not in the base roster. Daisy's been unlockable before, yeah, but being DLC? And in a Mario Sports game? Seriously, how does that work? How does that make sense? It's no wonder she was the first DLC character. Wow, 10 characters to use in an 8-player game. Yeah, put that as a highlight in your trailer. And back on characters, it's like they lost their edginess in the animations. Sure, some do still rage, and some animations do show some personality when they do a landing pose or in the character's left screen, and some of the animations and victory, yeah, sure, and losing, yeah. But this game, it feels like a friendly Mario soccer match with some minor anger. We loved how everyone was so angry and showing more personality in animations. Everyone used to rage when losing, but not here, barely any of that. Even the ones you really expect to rage don't rage. Only some show rage, but it's still limited. But the thing here that is wrong with that is the animations are so small now. 2 victory animations and 1 losing animations? That's not a lot. And because of that, you're going to be seeing the same animation repeated over and over again. The past games have multiple victory animations, and like more than 1 losing animation. That, I don't get why they didn't make them a lot of animations. And the voice lines, they're all reused from past games. And no, not from Strikers, but from other Mario games like Mario Kart 8, which they continue to do a lot. And even paster games, like Daisy has a... Oh no! That's from Mario Kart DS. And Bowser Jr.? Wow! Yeah, that's from Super Mario Bros. Wii. A lot of the current game titles do this, it's annoying. Some of the voice lines in here doesn't even make sense. I'm surprised we didn't get any new ones. I mean, heck, if they wanted to reuse voice lines, they could just use the voice clips from Mario Strikers and Mario Strikers Charged. And then they would get new ones for Pauline and Rosalina, because both of their voice actresses are very still active in the gaming community. They're still doing video games and stuff. So why not go ahead and hire them to do voice lines specifically for this game? But nope, gotta go the easy way. Now, we also go to content, where there's not much to do at all. Tournaments, yeah, there's tournaments, but all you do is earn coins to buy gear. Charged was able to have multiple challenges and cheats and other stuff to unlock, and when you won a tournament, it felt like you achieved something. Like again, when you unlocked characters. Yeah, I want that style of feeling of accomplishment back. But hey, the lack of content is present in all Mario sports titles released in the recent years, and it's because of the new free update model, where they release a game with low content and with the promise of adding free content that should have been in the game from the beginning. We all know Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush both released with very limited content and stuff. Tennis Aces didn't even have a proper stage select screen until later in the month, or had a proper opening movie to story mode until months later. Look at the roster for Aces. This is a good roster, both old and new characters to the game. If this and the new modes that were added were there from the start, with the ability to unlock them through challenges, the game would have been better. Super Rush did the same thing, and the same result would have been better from the beginning. The reason why Nintendo does this is to make the game have longevity, and I understand that. But the issue here is that fans are not pleased with this model, because once the update with the character and stage or mode comes to the game, we play it for a few hours and then drop it, and then wait for the next update to come. People don't even buy the game until all of the updates have been released. I kept coming back to the old games because of the characters and stuff in the game I wanted to get. And when you unlock them, it felt good. I achieved it with my hard work. You know Mario Strikers Charged? Yeah, I never unlocked PD Piranha. I only managed to unlock Junior and Diddy Kong. It was so hard to unlock PD Piranha, and I still never unlocked them to this day. It's that hard. I want that kind of feeling of challenges back. Nowadays, it's way too easy to unlock stuff, or they just give it to us. It's because of this that Battle League, which is a game that many hope will be amazing, sadly fell flat. The last update only gave us the usual character, gear, and stage, quote unquote. No new modes added or challenges or anything. Its roster is as small as Super Rush and Tennis Aces when they released. With Battle League wrapping up, baseball seems to be the next sport, as we already have every other sport in the game except for baseball. And many are already predicting the roster to be very small, with low modes and lackluster stadiums with free updates. I really hope Nintendo doesn't allow this again, and just lets this free update model go. Because Sluggers and Superstar Baseball were very good games because of its greatest roster, great gameplay, and content. I don't want to start a game with 18 characters in a baseball game and then get more later down the line, one at a time. The free update model is just not working. We get the game, it's updated, we go back to the game, and then drop it, and then wait for the next one. It's gotta stop at some point, Nintendo. Listen to the fans. We all want the normal game with everything included in it. Make us unlock things again. There's my talk about Battle League and the overall state of the Mario sports titles. Let me know in the comments about how you feel about this whole thing. Alright guys, bye.